Alright, welcome back everyone. So it's March 13th, 2020, so Friday the 13th. We got that coronavirus pretty much everywhere. So again, with all that stuff going on, our company's kind of telling us we have the option to work from home. I had my 40 actually as of Thursday, so I just took Friday off. So I came out here, I was doing some testing out here to kind of keep me away from all this media blast of all this stuff going on, but just be careful when you guys are out there and be mindful of what's going on, the situation. But again, I've been wanting to post this. This is my Cquartz stuff. I haven't tested here on the hood. I haven't really posted up an update on that, but again, this is actually 20 months and 2 weeks since it's been applied. I applied in July of 2018. It's March 2020. Let's just take a quick look at it. So the paint's dirty, so the beanie's not going to be as tight, but we can kind of get an idea of what it looks like. So let's take a look at Cquartz UK 3.0, and you can see it. This area still looks good. Like all this area here looks really good. It's still performing pretty well. Areas where I'm seeing issues here is where the hydrophobic properties are starting to diminish. You can see by the shape of the beading here. This area too. So this area is starting to lose its hydrophobic properties. This area is still pretty good. Again, if you're maintaining it, you're not going to see this. I'm just doing this to see how well this coating performs without any toppers. I'm not telling you not to use one. I'm just telling you, giving you feedback on how the coating is if you just wash it and dry it. And so far this coating's done really well. It's going to get to, if I let it go, it'll get to July 2020, which would put me at 24 months. But I'm going to be giving the car a polish anyways before that. TiO2 is still holding up pretty well. We got some good beading on here as well. So the hydrophobic properties for this is doing really well on this surface here. We'll get to the test panel here in a second. Here's the Cquartz 2.0, the previous version. You can see it's still doing pretty well. You can see it's starting to lose its hydrophobic properties because of the shape of the beads are not as tight. Up here it still looks pretty decent, but again it's starting to have some issues here. Now this hood here is like fiberglass and all that, and on the bottom I don't have the heat insulation material on it because that will block the ram air effect from on the hood here. So let's go to the test panel. So it's starting to lose its properties, but again it's doing pretty well for the most part. 20 and a half months, I'll take that. Okay, so let's go to the test panel and we'll look at all the coatings that we've got here. Just rain again. There's maybe dirt on here, so the beading may not be as tight, but let's take a look at them. So here's Adam's spray coating. I'm going to mention this. After the first wash, I noticed that its hydrophobic properties were not that good, and you can just tell by the beading it's not that good in terms of hydrophobics. Self-cleaning is not that good either. It's probably got one of the worst self-cleaning effects on all this section here. We pan over here to the Adams paint coating, and this looks real good. So let me get so this is all the stuff on it. So the paint coating is doing well, really well actually. One of my favorites on here. We pan over to the Cquartz TiO2 section, which is here, and something's going on with this section here, and I noticed this after the first wash. I think it's an application error on my part, because if you look at this here at 2 months in, this beading does not look good compared to what we saw on the hood over here at 20 and a half months in. So I'm kind of just ruling this out, this section for TiO2, and we'll do it on the next section. So I'm kind of ignoring this as a operator error, application error kind of thing. We pan over to Beadlock. Beadlock looks really good. It doesn't have the tightest water contact angle, but it's still real nice, and it's doing a good job. This one's kind of like a underdog. It's doing pretty well here. We pan over to Jade Quartz. Again, this one's actually doing pretty well also. Pretty good. At least for its first 2 months. And then we pan over to the Jade Ice section. This one's doing pretty well also. You can see it's pretty similar, real nice. Let me see if I can pan over up to, so here's my line here. This is actually the Trexler stuff, just the base coat. That actually looks really good. We pan over to the base coat, top coat, and it's losing the top coat's losing its hydrophilic properties. It's not that good. This combination is having the worst self-cleaning effect. It's not that good. IGL, kind of hard to tell because the water's just pulling up here, but IGL is doing really well. Again, it's hard to tell. SPS, again, here's the tighter water beading, but again, the water's mostly sitting on the center here. This is doing, this is performing really well. This is like the top performer. Compared, like if you're looking at pro coatings, SPS is better than IGL, to put it that way. And we pan over, this is Cquartz UK 3.0 again. We've got the big water beads from sitting on there, but again, tight water beading. This is actually from a quartz-based coating. This is actually my top performer here. And then we pan over to Cquartz Light, real nice, performing really good. And again, holding up really well. So I go over to the other side. I'm getting my shoes low in here. Can coat, you know, doing good. It looks, you know, it's performing well. It's water beading. It looks pretty good. It's not as tight as some of these other ones, but again, it's performing really well. And it didn't have the tightest water beading anyways. This is actually GMOs and skin. So 2 months in, Synchro is doing really well. And I take that back. This is actually outperforming even SPS in the original for the first 2 months. I take that back. So this is the top performer from a quartz combination compared to SPS, and from a single layer of quartz, we'll give it to Cquartz UK 3.0. Then we come over to this area here, which is just GMOs, and you can see when the water hits it right, it will bead, but this is more of a sheeting type coating. But again, the beading looks pretty darn good when the water hits it at the right angle. So if you're looking for something that avoid water spots, just put GMOs by itself. It doesn't have the most impressive water behavior, but it's there. We pan over to 22 PLE Insanity. This looks good too. This is performing really well for 2 months in. We pan over here, HPC. Again, just depends on the way the water is hitting it. Water beading looks very similar to Insanity. I think Insanity's got a little tighter water beads, but again, doing pretty well. You know, HPC is like a quiet guy you forget about. But overall, that's the status of these coatings with water just hitting it. Like a 2 month update again. It's been raining pretty much all week, so we'll see how that goes. I've been working from home most of this week with this coronavirus going on, so the car's been kind of sitting most of the time outside. So again, that should give you an idea of what's going on. We'll give you a more thorough update at the 3 month mark when I decon this whole panel, and then we'll come back. But for now, that's kind of where we're at with the test panel here and the Cquartz testing going on. So I'm pretty much calling this done. 20.5 months, I'm good. We're gonna just go ahead and start polishing this car. I got a surprise for the next thing of what we're gonna do to polish this guy. I'll keep you guys updated on what I do there. And yeah, thanks for watching.